Hello everyone, welcome along to the final round of this LB Racing series here at Interlagos. Fantastic racing coming up tonight. There are positions up for grabs all the way down the table. The title will be decided here tonight between LBR Lewis and Gavsky. And there's also third place up for grabs between Mario, Giacchela and Sprinkler. Which one of those three is going to take the last podium spot in the championship? We will find out in just a few moments' time. Let's have a look at where the table actually stands after the last round. So Baldy is in 14th, Huguenot in 13th, Wacky 12th, Mad J in 11th, Fat Man is 10th, Johnny in 9th, and Drew in 8th. Now, it's quite close between a lot of drivers at this part of the table, but let's look at the top half. Mike is in 7th, we've got Froxy 6th, Mario 5th, Sprinkle 4th, Giacchela 3rd at the moment, LBR Lewis in 2nd, and Gavsky 1st. Close at the top, but really close between 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Let's find out who got driver of the day from the last round. It does go to Giacchela. That last lap overtake, if you haven't seen it already, go back and check it out on the last video. Getting 3rd on the last lap, a cracking job from Giacchela, but that was all down to his tyre strategy. Now, tonight we reckon it's going to be the standard soft to hards, or then hards onto the softs. But let's have a look at how the drivers got on in qualifying. So, it was Drew in 10th place, with Mario 9th. In 8th we had Mad J, with 7th going to Mike. Sprinkler there in 6th, with Huguenot in 5th. Giacchela 4th. Proxy Dev taking 3rd. Gavsky in 2nd. And LBR Lewis taking the pole position, but that wouldn't be enough as it stands at the moment. Let's see how they get on in the final round. Right, let's get the action underway for the final round of the series. Who is going to take the championship? Will it be LBR Lewis here, or will it be Gavsky there in 2nd place? We are underway. We've got the green light. As we come down towards the center S's for the first time. Everyone seems to be getting through there quite nicely and neatly. No change for positions yet. Gavsky right on the back of LBR Lewis there. And then it's Froxy there in 3rd. Giacchela is in 4th. So Giacchela at the moment doing what he would need to do to take 3rd in the championship, is ahead of Sprinkler and Mario. Hugo is in 5th currently, with Sprinkler in 6th. So there is Hugo, and there is Sprinkler in 6th. We've got Rich then in 7th. Mario's in 8th, with Mike in 9th, and Drew in 10th. So everyone having a nice clean opening lap, which is what we like to see, since there is quite a few positions for quite a few drivers here in the championship. So Mike getting a little bit squirrely there, and Mike is going to get overtaken by Drew. So that is Drew getting past Mike on the opening lap, but I think Mike is going to fight this one back. And no, Drew manages to get the car turned in front of him and up onto the start-finish straight. So Mike dropping down to 10th position there. But it is in the lead. LBR Lewis will complete lap 1 in the lead. Now this would not be enough. Great camera angle there from the cameraman. This would not be enough to give him the championship. Gavsky just needs to finish 2nd behind LBR Lewis, and he will be champion. Great, I'm loving these camera angles from the cameraman here at Interlagos. So as it stands, this is not enough, but that's not going to stop LBR Lewis pushing on and trying to get the race win. But Gavsky's just got to sit behind him. Just got to sit behind, keep going round and round, but just not round and round in the other sense. He's done it a couple of rounds this season, which really has cost him the lead. He would be miles ahead in this championship if it wasn't for a couple of spins that have gifted LBR Lewis a couple of race wins. But Gavsky getting close in the midfield. I think these two are just going to push each other from start to finish in this race. Half an hour of them absolutely going at it with each other. Obviously, they are starting on the soft tyre. So is Froxy. Hugo's on the soft. Giacela is on the soft. Sprinkler's on the hard. So he's the front runner on the hard tyre. These two have created a nice little gap back. As we get a real sense of their pace. So LBR Lewis set the fastest lap for a millisecond then. So LBR Lewis did a 1 minute 32.590. And then Gavsky's just absolutely come through there and got himself a 1 minute 32.589. So close on the fastest lap between these two. Froxy is dropped a little bit back, but not massively off the lead pack. So holding on to that podium place here in third. And then Hugo is in fourth still. And then there's quite a gap back from Hugo to Giacela now. So Giacela in fifth. Sprinkler has got past. So Sprinkler has got past Rich and Sprinkler up into sixth place. So these two, Giacela and Sprinkler, are level on points in the championship coming into this round. Whoever finishes in front of the other will take third in the championship. But also, Mario, who's in 8th at the moment, is only 1 point behind both of them. So if Mario beats both of them, Mario gets third in the championship. So he's all to play for in that midfield. The midfield has been so close throughout the series. And it's been great to watch them all battle out. We've had a great battle in the front, we've had a great battle in the midfield, and there are some great battles further down the table as well. And that leads me on nicely to my next point. We are already planning the next series. So if you want to get involved, head over to our Discord. Link is was on our YouTube page. The link is. Join our Discord. We'll be back, as I said, in January for the second series of the LB Racing series. That's a mouthful to say, isn't it? So Sprinkler in 6th, Rich in 7th. Rich has done a great job in this series. Joined halfway through. Has had some cracking results. That second place at Bathurst was a phenomenal result for Rich. So he's done really well in this championship, and it'd be great to see him back for Series 2. Another driver that's done really well, being consistent, is Drew, and he's currently up in front of Mario. So he's got Mike and it's got Mario. So that's a great result there for Drew. Mario dropping down to 9th and has a half-second penalty to serve. So that is going to cost Mario some time. The penalty really does hurt here because you have to take it going up the hill. As you'll see in a second, the penalty, not the best place to serve on, because you don't lose half a second, you lose more like a second. So he's going to approach that line now, serves a penalty, and we'll have a look at how much Mike is going to catch up because of that. See, look, Mike will just be gaining this whole time going up the hill towards the start-finish line, gaining on him. Won't be enough to get the move done, but that'll bring Mike into contention with Mario. So back to the front runners. So still LBR Lewis in the lead over Gavsky. Every lap has been a 1 minute 32 from LBR Lewis at the moment. A 1 minute 32.5, and then a 32.6 and a 32.7. And Gavsky has done a 32, a 33, and then a 32.9. So LBR Lewis is outpacing Gavsky at the early stage, even though Gavsky does have the fastest lap, which LBR Lewis needs. Might I add, he needs Gavsky to finish third, and he needs to get the fastest lap to win the championship. So as it stands at the moment, if Gavsky was to drop down to third, that wouldn't be enough. So I think that's why LBR Lewis has been pushing, but he's not going to have the tyres now to get that fastest lap. So that fastest lap is pretty much done and is in Gavsky's hand. what the lap times are like this time around. It looks like Gavsky has picked up the pace a little bit. So maybe he was preserving his tyres and waiting to push, because that's a 34.3 from LBR Lewis, so that's definitely a slower lap, and Gavsky's a 34.3. So they're both into the 34.3s now. Kayla doing a 34. So actually gaining a little bit on them. Sorry, not Kayla, Frosty Dev. My apologies. It's because the orange throws me off, because they both had an orange livery car at one point. But if you look, Kayla does have a different livery on tonight, which we'll get to in a second. Surely the cameraman will catch up and have a look at that. Hugo down another great race. Hugo's consistently been fourth. Consistency is key. Look at that. Yeah. Got back to Gear Kayla. Well, it's not Gear Kayla anymore, because Gear Kayla has spun. Gear Kayla has gone around. We can see him in the background recovering, so it's Sprinkler in fifth. But we will go and have a look at what happened to Gear Kayla there. So, on board with Gear Kayla, coming into the corner, no one around him, takes a bit of curb on the inside, just gets on the exit curb, goes, manages to keep out of the barrier, rejoins the track. Unfortunate from Gear Kayla, the car just snapped on him and got out from underneath him, and that drops him down there. So unfortunate there for Gear Kayla. That has dropped Gear Kayla down, but that does mean, as it stands at the moment, this man here, Sprinkler, would be third in the championship come the end of this race. He's just got to keep it on the track and keep everything going in the right direction. So Sprinkler pushing on well and keeping it together here. Rich is in sixth now, as we do have Gavsky into the pits and Foxy Dev into the pits. Now this is going to promote some of these drivers that are a bit further back here, because they will get past them in the pit lane. As we see Rich go past them in the pits, Drew goes past in the pits. Gavsky's pit crew are just getting the tyres changed, and Gavsky is released. Now Gavsky is just going to come out now. Long pit exit here at Interlagos. Gavsky onto the hard tyres. And Gavsky getting it underway. It's going to come out behind Gear Kayla, so it comes out in 9th place. Froxy in 10th now. Gavsky got a bit of clear air in front, so you can get the speed down. Froxy, I said, in 10th. LBR Lewis going around for another lap. Now, what's going to happen here with the extra lap? Just doesn't look like that. Mercedes wants to turn at the moment. 3.3 seconds down on his fastest lap. Definitely think the tyres have gone. Has the extra lap cost LBR Lewis here too much time? Gavsky's going to be on fresh tyres. Okay, yeah, they're hards, but they're going to be hot by the end of his warm-up lap. LBR Lewis is going to come out on cold tyres. Does dive into the pits, so gets into the pits. Hugo into the pits as well. Sprinkler is going to carry on, surely, because he is on the hard tyre. So Sprinkler will take the lead of the race for at least a couple of laps. A few laps we'd expect. Rich there in second. Mario moves up to third. Mike's up to fourth. Gear Kayla in fifth. LBR Lewis is just getting released out of the pits now. Where is Gavsky? LBR Lewis on the hard tyre. Gavsky, still saying Gavsky's behind. It's still saying Gavsky's behind. Gavsky now in front. So where is Gavsky in comparison? There is Gavsky. You can see his front wing just over the fence. So Gavsky has taken the lead of the race. LBR Lewis just coming out behind. He's a few seconds behind. So Gavsky has gained some ground and a half there and moves himself up into facto lead of the race. So LBR Lewis dropping in 7th. Froxy in 8th, not too far behind LBR Lewis, so that could get interesting here. Froxy's tyres obviously warmer. That pitted the lap before. Hugo in 9th. And it's Drew in 10th after Drew's pit stop as well. So back to the leader, which at the moment is still Sprinkler on the hard tyre. We're not expecting to see Sprinkler in probably for another 8 minutes. So just needs to keep going. Keep plugging those laps away consistently in the 1 minute 35s. So that's what we like to see. And as fast as a 34.9, so basically a 35. Another 35 there from Sprinkler, so another consistent lap. And then there's Rich behind another driver consistently in the 35s. Again, on the hard tyre is Rich. Mario, another driver in the 35s. Had some scrappy laps to begin with, but has got those laps down to the 1 minute 35s. Mike again doing 1 minute 35s. And then there's Gear Kayla. So Gear Kayla must be on the hard tyre as well, because you haven't seen Gear Kayla pit, but there's Gavsky catching up. P6 now look behind, LBR Lewis and Froxy having a bit of a battle. Froxy is all over the back of LBR Lewis now. It's going to make things interesting, especially if Froxy gets past. Froxy pushing LBR Lewis here. We can see Gavsky getting nice and close to Gear Kayla. As we look just in front now, is Gavsky got the pace here to get past Gear Kayla on the start-finish straight? Is in the slipstream. Slipstream is definitely engaged here for Gavsky. Looks to the outside, switches to the inside. Doesn't get the move done here. Now, will he get it done? He won't get it done through the center S's, but will he get it done on the next straight? Getting right up behind Gear Kayla. Moves out. He's got the inside line now. Surely this is going to be Gavsky getting the move done. Moves up the inside, and that is Gavsky up into 5th place. Gear Kayla dropping down to 6th. Gear Kayla fighting it back maybe. But no, Gavsky has held on to the position. And there's the new livery that we were on about earlier for Gear Kayla, the Racing Rivals livery. Great looking livery. Nice bit of white on the car with the yellow and the orange. So LBR Lewis in 7th. Froxy there in 8th. Hugo not too far behind this battle in 9th. And there's Brew in 10th. But still in the lead is Sprinkler, and he's done a 34 and then he's just done a 35. So again, consistent lap times from Sprinkler. Rich has dropped off a little bit. He's done a 37 and then a 35.6. Mario still pounding in those 35s. Look at that shot. Everyone coming through the center S's. Mike there in 4th. Gavsky in 5th still. Gear Kayla not too far behind in 6th. LBR Lewis in 7th. But look, here comes Froxy Dev trying to make a move around the outside of LBR Lewis. LBR Lewis is going to hold the inside line here. So coming to the braking zone. And LBR Lewis is going to keep hold of that position. Froxy running a little bit wide there over the curb. LBR Lewis holding on to 7th from Froxy, but Froxy is knocking out that door. Battles galore on the track further back. Here between 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th. And also you can Hugo in that in 9th, because Hugo is not too far behind the battle either. Hugo having a great race here. Definitely in contention for another 4th place finish, or maybe he could do one better and get a podium. Then we've got Drew in 10th. Still in the lead, and he's got one hell of a lead building up now. Sprinkler does another 1 minute 35. Look at the lead he's got. If you look at the map in the top right corner, you can see everyone is grouped on that start-finish straight. So Rich in 2nd, Mario 3rd still. Hard runners running long in the race. Mike in 4th. Gavsky now catching up to the back of Mike. So we've now got 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, all in contention together. Gavsky looking for a move here. Will Gavsky going around the outside of Mike. Gavsky getting himself up into 4th. Gavsky is flying. Mike dropping down to 5th now. Kayla in 6th. Now LBR Lewis starting to get close to the back of Kayla. Has created a tiny bit of a gap back to Froxy Dev now. Hugo in 9th place, still on the back of this battle, and Drew just coming round inside. So Drew not too far behind the battle as well. Everyone is still really close together as we get 19 minutes into this race. So we have only got 11 minutes left. We see Mario coming into the pits. There's an early pit stop for the hards from Mario. Sprinkler has gone round and done another lap. Another 1 minute 35. Rich is staying out to another lap. That puts Gavsky up to 3rd as the cameraman catches up. So Gavsky up to 3rd place. Mike in 4th. Kayla in 5th still. LBR Lewis nice and close now to the back of Kayla. Now can LBR Lewis get a move done? He's got to start to get after Gavsky, because at the moment the championship is going to Gavsky. LBR getting nice and close. Greenfield looking at the inside here. Positioning the car on the inside, over the curbs, and slots himself up and into P5. And that's a 5th place now for LBR Lewis. Kayla dropping down to 6th. So Kayla in 6th. Froxy there in 7th, so Froxy not too far off the back of Kayla now. Hugo is in 9th still, so in contention here. Mario has come out of the pits and is in 9th. And does have Drew right behind. So Drew now has Mario to play with. As we see the race leader diving into the pits. So Sprinkler is in the pits. It's going to be interesting to see where Sprinkler comes out. So Sprinkler's pit crew just waiting. But that is going to promote Gavsky up into 1st place. So Gavsky coming through in 1st. LBR Lewis there in 2nd now. Promotes Froxy up to 3rd. Promotes Hugo up to 4th. Sprinkler's pit crew has just released Sprinkler. So Sprinkler onto the soft tyres. Got to do 8 minutes and 40 seconds of racing. So Sprinkler coming out of the pits, and looks like going to be a comfortable P5 here for Sprinkler. So where are the 2 drivers that he has got the main championship battle with? Rich just coming out of the pits. Now is Rich going to take... Rich comes out in 7th because Mario has moved up to 6th. So Mario 6th, Rich in 7th, Drew in 8th, Mike's in 9th. With Kayla after the pit stop dropping to 10th. So as it stands at the moment, it would be Sprinkler taking 3rd in the championship and Gavsky taking the championship lead, or keeping the championship lead and retaining his lead in it and being crowned champion at the end of the race. So Gavsky consistently doing 1 minute 35. He's done 2 1 minute 34s in the last few laps. LBR Lewis, on the other hand, has done the last 2 laps have been 1 minute 34, so he's pushing now to try and catch Gavsky. If he can't win the championship, he at least wants to win the race. So 35.3 on the last lap for LBR Lewis and a 35.6 for Gavsky, so taking another 6 tenths out of Gavsky on the last lap. But remember, Gavsky just needs to finish second. So I don't think Gavsky's going to push and risk it. He'll just be saying, yep, come catch me. You can push. I'm just going to coast around here and win myself a championship. So LBR Lewis still holding on to that second place. Froxy not too far behind. There is Froxy in third. Again, Hugo in fourth. Not too far behind this battle as well. So Hugo holding on for another fourth. Now, then we've got Sprinkler, who is the front runner now on the soft tyre. So be interesting to see if we see Sprinkler pushing on. Sprinkler getting nice and sideways. Don't do that to your tyres, mate. You burn them out too fast. Mario is not too far behind Sprinkler as well. Mario obviously done an extra lap on the soft tyre, but I want to see, let's on board with Sprinkler here and see what Sprinkler's pace is like on the soft. First flying lap. 6 minutes remaining in the race. As I said, do not forget to vote Driver of the Day. We will still post it out, and it will close a week after this video gets posted, and I will post it out on the channel. Sprinkler does a 1 minute 33.2 for Sprinkler, so about a second a lap faster than the guys in front. He's going to be catching them. Mario still holding on to that 6th place. Rich is in 7th. Still having a nice strong race is Rich. Mike in 8th. Gear Kayla has got up into P9, so 9th for Gear Kayla. With Peru going down to 10th. But it's still race leader Gavsky, still holding on there. 1 minute 35, dead on the last lap. Pretty much dead on the last lap. LBR Lewis is getting closer. A 1 minute 34.649 on the last lap for LBR Lewis. Let's see what they do on these laps as they cross the line. You can see that gap getting noticeably smaller between the two. 35.192 for Gavsky. LBR Lewis at 1 minute 34.892. So closing up by about 3 tenths on the last lap. Froxy in the 34s as well, so pushing on well. Foxy Dev looking for 3rd place. You can see the back of LBR Lewis's car, and Hugo can see the back of Froxy Dev's car. And to be fair, Sprinkler can also see these guys now. Another 33 for Sprinkler, so fastest car on track at the moment. And then Mario is not too far behind, but it does have Rich for company. So these two nice and close on track at the moment, Mario and Rich. With Mike just coming through in 8th place still. Gear Kayla for 9th at the moment. And Drew in 10th. Now, the battle in the lead is getting closer and closer as every lap goes on. 3 minutes left in the race. Gavski at 34.877. LBR Lewis at 34.542. So anything Gavski does to try and go faster, LBR Lewis has just got an answer to it at the moment. But I don't think it's going to be enough. Surely it's not going to be enough. So half a second down on the fastest lap in the first sector, which is Van Hud getting a bit wide there. Will that be a penalty? No, that will not be a penalty. Manages to escape the penalty clutches. But Gavski there in the lead. Still holding out. And I believe the next lap will be the last lap. So we'll run through the order one last time before we watch these two do the last lap. So Gavski in the lead, LBR Lewis in second, Froxy's in third, still Hugo fourth, Sprinkler in fifth, getting nice and close to Hugo now is Sprinkler, Mario in sixth with Rich close behind to Mario. Mike is in 8th, Giacala 9th, Drew in 10th. As Gavski comes across the line and starts what will be the last lap of the race. So failing Gavski's basically got to implode here and massively fall down the order. If he doesn't do that, if he finishes in front or even finishes behind LBR Lewis, if he finishes second, he will get that place. Look how wide LBR Lewis is going on this lap. Try and push and just take the win. As they come through into the infield section. Look how wide he's wringing the neck out of that Mercedes. But Gavski still holding on to first. Gavski getting the car rotated nicely in. LBR Lewis just getting closer and closer through this midfield. Obviously his tyres are a lap newer. He did do that extra lap on the soft. Now is that proving? Is that giving him the advantage now, that extra tyre wear that he hasn't had to sustain as the checker flag is officially out? They come up towards what is really the last braking zone. He's getting close and closer. But Gavski getting the power down and going up the hill. Surely it's not going to be enough from LBR Lewis. He will be getting closer and closer with that slipstream, but I don't think it's going to be enough as they come on to the start-finish straight. And it is going to be Gavski taking the LB Racing Series. First championship winner goes to Gavski. LBR Lewis takes second in the championship. Foxy Dev takes third on the night. Hugo finishes fourth again. Sprinkler crosses the line in fifth and will finish third in the championship. Mario will take sixth from Rich, who finishes in seventh. Mike in eighth. Giacala ninth. Unfortunate with the spin there for Giacala early in the race, is costing those positions there. And Drew will cross the line and take 10th. But here is your champion for the first LB Racing Series, Gavski. Wow, what a fantastic final round and a way to end the series here at Interlagos. Positions changing all the way across the table, but we will have a look at those championship standings in a second. But thank you so much to all of the drivers firstly that took part in the series, and let's have a look at where that has ended the championship. So Baldy there in 14th, Wacky 13th, Huguenot in 12th, Mad J in 11th, Fatman 10th, Johnny in 9th and Drew in 8th. So battles all the way across the bottom half of the table there. Obviously there's quite a lot of drivers that only joined halfway through the series, like Mad J, Huguenot and Wacky there, so expect to see them higher up in the next series. We'll have a look now at the top half of the table. So Mike finishing in 7th, then you've got Froxy there in 6th, who would have been higher if he hadn't missed that extra round. Giacala, Mario and Sprinkler all battling out there, but it is Sprinkler who finished 3rd in the series, only 4 points off Giacala there, who was in 5th. And then it's LBR Lewis who finished 2nd, but it is Gavski who takes the series win, your champion for the first series at LB Racing. goes to Gavski. Fantastic result for Gavski. Well-deserved championship winner. What a series this has been. 10 rounds. If you haven't watched all of the rounds, go back and watch them because they're on the channel here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll be back in January for another series. We're going to bring more action, more cars on track. But if you haven't already, check out the videos on the screen. And thank you so much for watching.